Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is...
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a man making his first start in purple, the big offseason signing from Washington. It's Kirk Cousins.
Leadership skills apparent early in his life, carried over not just in high school but in college, where he was a three-time captain of the Michigan State Spartans, and learned the art of the comeback early in his career there, and actually capped off his career with a big comeback in a bowl game before going on to the NFL.
And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, Cook. And an alley to run. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. K'Wan Williams, the one that got him down. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
And when you make an investment in a position, defensive line is a great place to do it, and the 49ers have done exactly that. Solomon Thomas, 2017 draft. Eric Armstead, 2015. DeForest Buckner, 2016. They should be a formidable defensive front.
Cousins from the gun on third. And Robinson with a big catch. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
All right, now here we go.
Cousins on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage. You know, projections for him were a little all over the board. Some saw him as a day 3 pick, maybe a little bit higher. But here he is, round 3.
I do know teams that had him listed as a first-round talent. I also had teams that had him listed as a day 3 guy, which is rounds 4 through 7. So him going in the 3rd round kind of fit in the middle. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder wanting to prove that he should have been taken higher.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
On play action, Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. The speedster, Dante Pettis, back deep to return. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. The former Iowa Hawkeye, C.J. Beathard, will be the man calling the shots in his 2nd season now in the league.
And the 49ers brass was real high on C.J. Beathard. They actually moved up in the draft to get him in 2017 and take him in the 3rd round. Had to play as a rookie. The record, not impressive at 1-4. But what I liked most about him, his poise. Despite the pressure, despite the hits he took, stayed in there and continued to try and make good throws.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw is Beathard. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Beathard. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Here's Sherrills.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a 1st down. Roughing, it is a 1st.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Now it's Morris. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They run it with Morris. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Beathard. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now it's Breida. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watching that, Barney!
Right back to him on 1st down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And Garrett Selleck here on the completion. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
They run with Breida, and they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Beathard to throw. Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They start the drive with Cook, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Handoff comes to Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Solomon Thomas in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. That's something this coaching staff told us they want to see a lot more of this season.
I imagine the entire time in the offseason when these guys were taking breaks from watching film, when they were out running and doing all the other things, all they were thinking about is how do we create more sacks? They loved what they just saw there.
Because they were near the bottom of the league in 2017. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And San Francisco gets set to go here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points. Start off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. The Vikings heading out, and we'll have to see what the Falcons do this year, but we do know that the Vikings will not be the first team to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium because they had that shot last year, Charles. Came up short in the NFC title game, but this is a club that has retooled to make another run.
Still built defense first, in the image of their head coach, Mike Zimmer, and they have all-stars at every level. Start with Linval Joseph at defensive tackle. Move back to Anthony Barr at linebacker, Xavier Rhodes at cornerback, Harrison Smith at safety. They can do it all on defense. But the signing of Kirk Cousins on offense at quarterback signals that this is a Vikings team that wants to open things up a little bit, get a little bit more explosive, and not have to play quite as many grinded-out games as they did in 2017. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 23 yards on the play.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, Cousins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. For Kirk Cousins, it's his first touchdown pass as a Minnesota Viking, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And a loose football. And this belongs to the Vikings. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They'll throw now on the final play. Airing it deep for Garçon. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Beathard. And he's got room. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, 76 yards. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Cook. And an alley to run. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Beathard breaks the huddle and leads the Niners up with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll begin the drive with Breida. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's Beathard to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Here's Breida. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Back to throw Beathard. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll throw here. Beathard. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over the starting running back job as a rookie and was off to a terrific start. In fact, if you ask people in the Minnesota Vikings organization, they were giddy at the fact that...
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Malcolm Smith. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Third and long for Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cook. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. All even as we get ready to... Here's Matt Wild now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a 1st down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This is Breida, and he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll go with a keeper. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. And now out comes Minnesota. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle, and they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Murray. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They'll look to throw. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down. Back to throw. Over the middle to Kittle. Complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. He's back to throw. Over the middle to Garçon. And he's got this down to the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. He'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. The all-pro corner, Xavier Rhodes, there to knock that one away. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. This defense so strong all afternoon long. Well executed again there.
This is a group that really functions well off of each other. No matter what the assignment, the other person fills in the exact proper spot. They've made it very, very hard for them to find open places to throw the football.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Now the Vikings now heading on to the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
They run it again with Cook. They find some open field here. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find the crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. I know they may want to go for this, but the smart play probably to punt it even given the field position, right?
In a sense, you honor what they've done all game. And this is a defense that's held the score down, kept it tight, kept you right in it. And they're really jonesing for one more shot. Give it to them. Let them play defense for you and give you a better chance to win the game.
Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Niners on 3rd down. Lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Beathard. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Murray. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Now again, this is Murray. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now the 49ers going to take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Matt Weil now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Beathard breaks the huddle and leads the Niners up with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Here's Beathard to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Beathard. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Sherrills to return it. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. Split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It